boys are asleep. I'm going to head off a bit earlier, so hopefully I'll beat the rain. Hopefully. I'll go get some juice and we'll hit the highway and hopefully be home by lunch. Okay.
And here I am, leaving the BP at Jindabyne, Lake Jindabyne. Now, I've done a couple of videos already with this place, but this weekend it just so happened that the boys arranged to do a trip and a couple of nights down at Jindabyne. But they couldn't have picked the worst weekend weather-wise. It was a shocker. And just once we left Grania, heading towards Gingerly, coming up this way, it was bucketing. It just did not let up, and here I am just waving goodbye to the boys. They're just waking up. I hadn't slept at all that night. It was one of those nights where you're anxious to get home because of the weather conditions and a few aches and pains. And so I was up ready and packed about 5 a.m, but this is around about 8 a.m. I'm leaving Jindabyne, and I thought, oh look, you know, it should be okay, the weather should clear up, but you know, unfortunately, you'll see further down how it all pans out. It didn't rain, didn't rain too bad, but it just was so cold, so cold. Now I'm riding the CF Moto 700 MT, and on this trip, it's set up pretty good. I've sort of grown to adjust everything correctly for my for myself on this machine. It's as you know, Chinese made motorcycle. It's 700 twin cylinder. It's going really well. Not a super powerful bike, but it's got enough power to get you out of trouble. You know, I've done a few long trips now, and it hasn't missed a beat. Now this time around, I actually got a rack at the back, a little flat rack that sits on your grab rail. So I was able to load the bags on the back. It looks like a bit of a mess. Looks like a bit of a dog's breakfast, but in fact it's just two big bags strapped on there pretty well. And yeah, bike handled it really well. So no issues there. But as you can see, we're heading into the snowfields basically, and this is probably only a few weeks before the snow sort of hits. And at this point, the temperature just seems to be dropping and dropping, and the air seems to be icier and icier. Now it's been raining all weekend, and the road, I am so nervous with the black ice and just those slippery conditions. Now on that trip, my brother went down and smashed his bike actually just on a straight road. Just to give you an idea, it was very greasy on the road, very slippery, very greasy, and all that in mind, I was just very cautious, taking it very easy. And you can see here the clouds, it is beginning to just freeze up. You'll see even the camera will just ice up. And you know, most of you people who've been down these roads know we're heading towards Thredbo now, the ski resorts, and you can just see that the road is just so greasy, so slippery. And now I don't know if there's a lot of diesel around Jindabyne at the moment on the road. It just seems like the rain has, I don't know, spread a heap of, just spread any greasy oil or diesel, whatever it was. But the tow truck driver actually said there was about 3 bikes had gone down just outside of Lake Jindabyne in the same spot. So I'm guessing there's a lot of trucks with the hydro and all that infrastructure work going on. Could have been a bit of diesel on the road, I don't know, but or black ice, who knows? But certainly is dangerous at the moment. So you can see on the far right there all the clouds in the valleys, and believe you me, it is getting so cold. Now this is, as I said, this is the second or third time we've gone down here in the last few months. But this trip here was just so cold, so wet. as much wet weather as you want to put on, it just seems like it's still always damp somewhere. So when you get back on the bike and you're riding, it just seems like everything that's been wet is just freezing. So it's just one of those things. I guess I don't really want to be doing any overnighters in this weather. Maybe call me soft, call me whatever, but I prefer the warmer weather for travelling. I mean, I don't mind the rain, but just the cold on your hands, it was terrible. So, going back to the bike, my mates were riding the GSs, BMW GSs, nice bikes, and also there was a KV1300 with us, my cousin Jim, and beautiful bikes, big machines. But I find that the CF Moto 700, it's one of those bikes that's not super powerful, but it just keeps you grounded, if that makes sense. Keeps you from doing too many silly things. And the handling on this bike's pretty good, I've got to say. It handled really well, comfortable. I've adjusted the suspension a few times just to get it right because I'm a little bit heavier, and this time it seemed to be working really well. I had no complaints at all. The brakes are good. The suspension's good. Fuel consumption was really good this time round. I made it back from Jindabyne to Albury with petrol to spare. I didn't have to stop for any petrol at all, and that was just under 300 kilometres. I took it the long way back home. I went through instead of going left at when you get from past Cancoban. All people who are familiar with this roads will know what I'm talking about. But when you're heading back, you stop at a town called Cancoban where you top up your fuel. But in this case, I checked had a visual look from the top of the tank, and I had plenty of gas, so I just kept going. And when I got back onto the highway close to Corryong, instead of turning left to go to Corryong, I turned right to Toowong and went home through the road down towards Walwa. But you can see as I'm driving and talking, you can see the actual Insta360 is actually freezing. It's icing up. Now, it is that cold. It is like snow weather now. It is just out of control. And I didn't have warm gloves on. And thankfully, the CF Moto has the hand guards included when you get the bike, and that does cut down a lot of the wind chill, a lot of the wind on your hands. Now, it just got worse and worse, and although I didn't had any way of recording the temperature, I could swear it was getting close to the zeros. It was just cold. If I was just going to say anything from here to the other side, it was just freezing. And unfortunately, there wasn't much I can do. I left the camera rolling. You can just see that it's just nothing you can really do, really. And look at this particular bike too. I was going to say, I don't think it hasn't got traction control, but it has got ABS. And I had no dramas at all with the braking. It was really good. Handling was really good. I don't know why in Australia the CF Moto, the 700, hasn't really taken off. I don't think there's a lot of them. Although it's a really good machine, I don't see too many of them on the road, unfortunately. And they're a great bike, but unfortunately I don't think there's a lot of accessories out there at the moment. Still, even after a few months of being out in the market, I don't see any shops carrying accessories or anything specific for this bike. Usually you have to go to AliExpress and just work things out yourself. Now I've turned the camera around, just not the Insta, but the GoPro. And I should have kept my helmet down. It was just freezing here. But when I got home, my eyes were sore from just riding with the visor up. So I won't be doing that again. But you can see the clouds in there. This is for those who aren't familiar with the area. This is Thredbo. This is where all the snowfields are. A lot of people stay in Jindabyne during the snow season, and they come up here and whatever whoever's into snow stuff, I'm not into it, so I don't like the cold. But during the summer months, you get a lot of mountain bikers and all those other activities, outdoor activities through here, which is great. But yeah, I'm not a snow skier or anything like that. But this is one of the popular ski resorts. There's a golf course down there as well. You can see on the off the road. Really nice looking place. Actually, the scenery is fantastic. But at this point in time, mate, I was ready for. It's almost like someone took me out of the morgue. It was just that cold. I shouldn't say that, but it was like, I think everything at this point, no matter how much gear I had on, was just freezing. You can see me here, my hands, trying to warm up my hands. I'm talking to the camera, but it's just the bones are starting to get achy. I'm yelling at the GoPro here, but you can't hear it. But I am cold. Anyway, look, I might give it a bit of a rest, the voice, for a little while. And now, once you pass Redbone, you're descending here, it gets really dangerous. As you can see, I'm trying to navigate, do a couple of corners here, but the road is so slippery, so greasy. And you can see there's a lot of junk on the road from the rains the day before. It had rained really heavy the previous few days, and there's a lot of tree bark and tree leaves, and you can see it all over the road now. No matter how good your bike is, once you hit a couple of those, you're going to slide. And thankfully, look, I didn't come off, but I did slide a few times, and it was pretty bad. It was frightening. I think I took 10 years off my life. Now, I'm still descending. Now I'm only I've dropped the speed to what, less than 40 k's at some points. It was just that you can see the road's just full of leaves and slippery stuff. And on top of that, here we go now. Just watch a stupid little wallaby darts across the road. Bang. Now, if I wasn't going slow, or if I was going 60 k's or more, I think, there's no way knowing you're going to stop. Now, I was just about to pull over here at, Leatherman's Creek, whatever it's called, and try and call the other guys, because look, a beautiful, beautiful spot here. And I was going to call them to just be very careful on the road, but there was no service, so it didn't last long. So back on the road again, and here we go. The lens is still iced up. It's unbelievable how I couldn't believe that the Insta360 with those dome lenses would actually freeze like that, but they did. So anyway, as I'm going further down, I'm going to come into a little pocket here where there's just kangaroos everywhere. Now, normally if you leave a bit later, you don't cop this, but because I left the time that I did, and the weather conditions, they were everywhere. Now, you can just see them just jumping across the road here, but they're everywhere in the shrub. You might not be able to pick them with this, there you go, they're just everywhere. So, yeah, up the front there. And the stupid thing is, you just get one stupid one that'll just go straight across the road, or they'll be jumping beside you, and all of a sudden they'll just cut in front of you. They're just a funny animal. Now, if you live in Australia, you're probably familiar with them, but for people watching from overseas, kangaroos are tough as nails animal. They're so muscular, so tough, that if you hit them with your car, you can ride off your car. If you hit a good sized one, you can just pretty much, your car would look like it's hit a truck. And the same goes with a motorbike. If you hit that at a good speed, you're finished. So I wasn't going to risk myself out here by myself. I was no way known I was going to take a chance. You can see them all on the right hand side there. There's a heap of them. And most of them, when you beep the horn, go in the bush. But look, you get a couple of stupid ones, heading towards you. Like they don't know where to run. So this little one stupid thing was just about to come in front of me. So anyway, that was fun and games down the road here. So anyway, like I was saying, I'll just give my voice a rest and let you enjoy the video. But I think that was pretty much it for the kangaroos close to the road at this point. Okay, so we've just had a bit of a pit stop at the power station, the Murray 1 power station, part of the Snowy hydro setup, and off we go. But you can see to the left here, thank God for the engineers that thought of that, putting that mesh up on the walls there, because you do get a fair few rock slides, especially after wet weather. It's just a simple yet effective device or invention, I guess. So as you can see, this is Cancoban that I've come into, and I forgot to mention that the road from Jindabyne to pretty much the Murray Valley Highway towards Corryong is actually the Alpine Way. It's probably one of the well-known motorcycle routes and driving routes, I guess, in that area. But from Cancoban, which is it's really a petrol stop for us, it usually is a stop. When I'm with the other guys, I tend to stop there, have a snack or have a rest. But in this case, I was okay, so I kept going. And this will take you down to the Murray Valley Highway, and you can turn left and catch it to go to Wodonga, Corryong and Wodonga. And if you're heading back to Melbourne or Sydney, you can catch the Hume or whichever way. But in this case, this particular case, rather than go home the usual way, I did a right at the Murray Valley Highway. Instead of going left towards Corryong, I turned right towards Toowong, another country town, which was packed full of caravans at the time. I don't know what was going on for this weekend, but all the caravanners were out. And at Toowong, there's another left towards Walwa, and that's the beginning of the Murray River Road, which pretty much runs all along the side of the Hume Lake. Now that road takes you pretty much straight through to Albury. Now, at some point the batteries gave way, and there's no point recording the same old road. But there were some close calls here. There was a couple of cows on the road that gave me a fright. Now, I don't think I actually got them on camera, unfortunately, but you got to be always on your tippy toes riding through these back roads. Now, although sometimes there's not much traffic and whatnot, but that can give you a false sense of security, because there's always some animal. Here we go into Walwa now. Yeah, there's always something you got to look out for, whether it be an animal or a local farmer or something coming out of his driveway. Who knows? But there you go. You can see all the caravanners just parked up everywhere, buses, you name it. I don't know for the life of me what was going on. If it was a caravan show or something, who knows? But now here I'm only doing 40 kilometres an hour. For some reason, country towns have dropped their speeds from 60 k's to 40 k's. I think after years of good driving, our powers that be need to collect some revenue. So looks like they've decided to make it 40 k's for a little town that you'd be lucky to get a pedestrian, once a week going across one side of the road. It's ridiculous. But anyway, that's another story. So away we go from Walwa and get stuck into the Murray River Road and head for home. And the weather seems to be clearing up a little bit. There's a cocky on the road, cheeky bludger. And it seemed to clear up there for a little while, but then again, I guess you never tell with the weather these days. And I've got to say at this point, not that I want to make this video about just the CF Moto 700 MT alone, but I've got to say it's been a really comfortable trip, having adjusted the suspension and changing the foot pegs and whatnot, just setting the bike up the way it suits me. It just seems to have run pretty good. So I don't know what it is in Australia. I don't know if there's a mental thing, a mental block or something with these Chinese motorcycles, but I love them so much. I think in fact I'm looking to get the 450, the MT 450 as well, which is more a lighter adventure bike. So I'm not getting any younger, so I think something like that would come in handy, especially where I live. I don't need the speed or anything like that. I just need a good, reliable little bike. And these Chinese bikes that are coming out are fantastic value for money. Now the 450 that's coming out, I think there's been about 300 plus orders already sold out in Australia. So on back order. Now if that's true, well that's a good effort. The good thing about the 450, which I like, it's got a rack already on the back. You can put your top box on. You can, you've already got everything you need. Bash plate, the whole lot. Not that I do a lot of off-road riding, but I think this bike's a little bit heavy for me to take off-road. It's a little bit when you get a full tank on it, it's very top heavy. So and it's high. I'm on my tippy toes most of the time, so I'm not as confident going off-road. But when I get the 450. Probably do a little bit more dirt. I want to do the Barry Way, and that's another road that's sort of up near Jindabyne, but that's been pretty much ridden by every man and his dog who rides an adventure bike, or drives a four-wheel drive. That'll be next on my to-do list. But nevertheless, this 700 MT is really it's a good overall bike. It's a good overall package, and I've got to say the quality is no different to any Japanese bike or European bike. I think the quality is really up there. I mean, the gear they use. Oh, did you see that? That was a big wombat. Now, if you hit that, even though it's dead, you hit that, it's like hitting a rock. You know, these animals that come out at night, like the kangaroos and the wombats, you know, they don't look much, but they're just so tough. And if you do end up hitting one, you'll certainly, you know, you'll do some damage. Now I overtook this Ford on the left there, and this gentleman didn't like me overtaking him, so he was right up my backside for most of the way, right through to Albury. So at this point I'm pretty tired actually. So you know, this fella didn't take too kindly to me passing him. Never mind, these things happen. But anyway, it was a good ride home. Made it home all in one piece. Thank God for that. Always say your prayers before you leave for a trip. It helps. And very soon we'll be seeing the Hume Lake on the right hand side of us. But this is a good road too. This is not far from me. This road here, it's 100 kilometre speed limit, which is fine for me, and you know, that suits me fine. It's a good scenic drive just to go out for a therapeutic trip out on the bike. But sorry about the bugs at this point. Now the Insta360 battery had finished, so all I had was the GoPro for a bit of the journey. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you watched this far and you want to leave any comments or questions, feel free. Again, this is the Murray River Road, so yeah, feel free. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.